I started sharing my lockdown experience a few weeks ago. I never knew how much people would tap into it and appreciate it. So I've decided to share a bit more. I was heading to Berlin as a street performer in June 2020. I was going to take my looping show to Europe. I was living on the edge, funding a conscious kiddies book that I was self-publishing. I'd spent all my funds, and then all of a sudden, the Waterfront cancelled my buskers contract. A global pandemic. Who could ever have guessed? My sole income was gone in a blink. I had to sell my precious guitar and bought a bus ticket. I was not going to spend lockdown in the city with absolutely no funds and no income. I ended up in Hogsback 2 days later, untouched nature. Within 2 weeks of hiding out in the forest, my phone contract was cut and my computer died. My mind was spinning. I was frantically holding on to who I thought I was. I found myself completely on my own. What a scary place to be. Nobody to uplift my spirit or to confine in. No phone to grab to save the day. No one to fund me. But then fortunately, I managed to get a volunteering job. No income, but I had food in my tummy every day. I'd been struggling with tendinitis. I was a gluten and sugar-free, raw vegan for many years trying to correct my body. I was healthy, but the tendinitis was not getting better. As the only raw vegan volunteer, I was not really catered for. I had to eat cooked food and picked out what I could from the vegetarian option. Luckily, there was a vegetarian option. There was very limited fruit and no avos, which was pretty much my staple diet before. An apple or two a week if I was lucky. My first day volunteering, I got handed an axe to chop massive logs into firewood. My scrawny little vegan arms, riddled with tendinitis, nearly snapped in half with every blow. A few months later, I was still an unpaid laborer, eating whatever I could, but I could chop wood all day long. I could dig trenches with a spade and a pick. I could do any manual labor that I wanted to. I was as strong as an ox. I actually love chopping wood now. I do it just for fun. How is this possible? I'd spent a fortune in my previous reality on nutrient-dense superfoods and supplements, but to no avail. Having no contact with anyone that I knew and being purely myself in the simplest of forms changed my life. With having no phone or any other distractions, I had no options but to think. There was so much on my mind that I had to process. With being treated as a laborer and not as someone with achievement, I had to find myself. I had to dig deep, very deep. I started watching my mental reactions to things and situations instead of just reacting to them. What a challenge. I started realizing who I was and what I truly stood for. I started seeing how people were just projecting all their issues onto me and my own shortfalls reacting to it. The deeper I delved into my soul and the more I processed, the stronger my physical body became. The more I could see situations for what they truly were, the cleaner my mind became. Good, clean food is more than good enough fuel for the human body when the mind is clear, especially when consumed in the most unprocessed form. In this social world we find ourselves in, it's really hard being yourself. Some people try hard to be individuals, including myself in my previous reality. But even that is based on some input from somewhere or someone. Luckily for me, lockdown stripped me down naked. I had no support from anyone or anywhere, no reality to hold on to. It was extreme in every aspect of life, but it made me brave enough to face my own soul. The quickest way to determine your own true mental state is to remove yourself from all your support systems completely. For half the world born into poverty, this is very simple. But for the more fortunate souls, well, that's another story. To remove yourself from all the fortune of a lifetime of support, that will be much harder. Have you ever noticed how most people with absolutely nothing and no support system have a smile on their face? It's been 2.5 years now since lockdown started. I've managed to save some funds in my bank account by working extremely hard, but I still choose to be a laborer when I'm not being a musician. The simplicity feeds my soul, and the manual part keeps my body in shape. But the best part of being a laborer is that it is an extremely good filter to separate the real from the fake. Mental health is as important as good wholesome food to get to supreme health. Mental health can transform physical health. Mental health is where it all starts. Bottom line is, fear is what holds us back. Fear of losing the people in our reality. The fear of being ostracized. The fear of what people will think. The fear of how people will react. The fear of having nothing. But I think the biggest fear of all is the fear of being completely alone. Please subscribe to my channel if you like this video and my music. Salam alaikum. May peace be with you.
Dust be rolled, living some money.